In 1571, Europe stood on the edge of disaster. The powerful Ottoman Empire was expanding fast, threatening to overrun the Christian West. Their fleet was enormous, well-equipped and feared. The Christian world was divided, weakened by internal strife and the Protestant Reformation. But in the face of this looming threat, Pope Pius V did not rely solely on politics or weapons. He turned to prayer. Specifically, he turned to the Rosary. He called upon every Catholic across Europe, men, women, and children, to pray the Rosary for divine intervention. In churches, in homes, and even in the streets, voices rose in unison. Fingers moved over beads and hearts were lifted in hope. The Pope himself led processions through the streets of Rome, clutching his rosary, pleading with the Blessed Virgin Mary for protection. On October 7, 1571, the two fleets met at Lepanto, a massive naval battle that would decide the fate of Europe. The Christian forces were outnumbered, but something remarkable happened. The wind, which had been against the Christian fleet, suddenly shifted in their favor. Clouds cleared. Morale soared. The unity of prayer had transformed into courage on the sea. Despite being smaller and less equipped, the Holy League's fleet overwhelmed the Ottoman navy. As the battle was being won on the waters of Lepanto, Pope Pius V, hundreds of miles away in Rome, is said to have suddenly risen from a meeting, gone to the window and declared, "The Christian fleet is victorious." There were no messengers yet, no letters had arrived. But he knew. The power of prayer had spoken. Later, the news confirmed what he had seen in spirit. The Ottoman threat had been broken. Europe was saved. The Pope gave all glory not to the generals or the ships, but to Mary, Queen of the Holy Rosary. To commemorate this divine intervention, he instituted the feast we now know as Our Lady of the Rosary, celebrated every October 7th. This wasn't just a military victory. It was a spiritual triumph. The Rosary, often seen as a simple, repetitive prayer, had been the lifeline that united thousands in faith. Across nations and languages, it reminded the world that the true battle is not always fought with swords or cannons, but with hearts surrendered to God in prayer. As Scripture says in 2 Chronicles 20:15, "Do not be afraid or discouraged because of this vast army, for the battle is not yours but God's." And again in Psalm 27, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God." Through the Rosary, the name of the Lord was lifted high, and he responded with mercy. The miracle of Lepanto lives on, not just in history books, but every time someone takes the beads in their hands and prays with faith.